everybody. Welcome. Today is the day. I mean, it's all about sanding, but I'm going to show you how to detail your model to get the most stunning appearance for the least amount of weight. So the things that people look at when they're looking at your model, well, we got a dent there, or do we? Is the fillet area, the canopy, the nose. So I went and I don't normally do this, but I don't want to make this an all year project finishing. So I did go and get, a can of primer. It used to be that I would prime the whole airplane and sand the whole thing out, but I'm not into that because I'm trying to save weight. So we're only addressing problem areas. And the problem areas normally are around the canopy, around the cowl lines, around the fillets, the wingtip transitions out here. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, problem with the fillets. If you look right here, I'm sanding this right here. If you look, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but if you look right there, there's a line where the superfill transitions to the fuselage. It happens on all airplanes. It doesn't matter who's doing it or whatever. When I can see it. So, good morning, Steve. So, take your and around the canopy fill right here is always a problem. So you're going to prime, sand, prime, sand, prime, sand, and then when the line finally goes away, you're going to sand all the primer off. So use whatever tools you have to get in there. And you may not get it the first go around. You may have to do several coats, and you'll notice that when you sand, it'll show you what's wrong. So hopefully today I can get this finished so we can get it on the paint stand, and I've been working on cleaning some of that mess up over there. We'll get it on the paint stand and get it started. We're going to do white on the back half. This will be white here. I'm not going to double paint, so this is going to stay primer until the red gets going on. You see that spot right there? I do not know whether it shows up on camera or not. And I can't really take that one off the, I need a macro lens is what I need. We're just trying to feather those spots out. There it went. Remember, I've told you that a paint job is never completed. It's only abandoned. It's just how much of this tinkering do you want to do? When are you satisfied? I worked on this yesterday off camera because I tell you, sanding is ridiculous. So there's the first sand out on that. I'll get some more primer on it to fill them lows. I'll probably take another sand out. It takes what it takes, you know. But the primer does make it a whole lot easier. I do this on a Pampa airplane. I do this without primer, but it's difficult. And I didn't want to make this a major project. I'm sanding with the end. I'm sanding with the end of the pad here. It looks to me like it might focus. Remember, you're trying to mold this thing in so it looks like one piece, not like it was an afterthought. Let's put a little, shoot some primer on it, see what it looks like. See if we got the spots filled. Yeah, we didn't get that one filled. And if you can't get it filled, then you use the acryl. But I really don't want to add more than I have to of that because it's real heavy. And you don't want to really lay it in here too thick. You just want to, all you're doing is with the primer is it's more or less a guide coat. You got a spot there. I have to sand that. And I see it's not out. So I gotta, it's getting better there, but let me give it another coat so we got something to sand too. Got a spot there. So this side I had done already. And if you look right here, we got a spot. I don't know. This sanding is, hey Jeff, or Jay. Yeah, Jeff. Trying to feather those edges in. Once you get, you don't much have to worry about the wings, you know, the flat surfaces. You have to worry about where the surfaces join each other because you want the airplane to look like one piece, not like it's stuck together. And this is really not that hard. Just rub on it. Hopefully we can get her in paint today, at least the first coat. This is one of my rush paint jobs. I'd like to have it, we're coming up on the end of the month here, and I know that FCM is next month. I'd like to have it done and ready to go for FCM. And there again is how much work do you want to do? Because all this little fiddling, if you keep fiddling, the airplane will pick up weight. So the trick to using primer is once you get all these spots out, is sand it all off evenly. Now this is a pretty even guide coat up here. Let me see here. Let me zoom back a little bit. We got, she's this is all pretty even as a guide coat. Well, once it is even, then we're going to sand it off till you can see through it, and that's the least amount you can use. You don't want to leave that primer on there. One guy last night was talking about bleed through on the white. Well, first off, I don't know which white he's using, because I'll guarantee that Randolph doesn't bleed through. And second, he didn't put a sealer on it, which I put a sealer on this, or try to seal it out as best as possible. Yeah, it's focusing. Focus. There we go. You try to seal it. I'll seal it with the last of my base coat. The whole airplane will get a coat of base. Then the white goes on. And I don't know if he sanded it all off. You just don't want a solid gray. You want a mottled gray. Because to be honest, I wish I could just prime the whole damn thing and sand it off. And I got a gallon, I could put it on there, but boy, she'd be 70 ounces when it was done. It hasn't picked up too much weight as of yet. It's only picked up a half an ounce since I started tinkering. So yeah, it's not dry, but that spot is still there, and that spot's still there. That's a big spot there. I'll have to sand out. Are we getting those? Let's see here. It's 320. There's really not much, Jeff? Well, yes. Once I shoot on the sealer, I'll go over and look and see what it needs any sand spots. I'll sand that. Then I'll shoot on a coat of white, and we'll go over and see if there's any spots then. And then after that, then I'll touch those up, then shoot another light coat on it. Then I don't sand until the clear. Sanding is what gives you your shine. Now there's other guys do it different. They sand between each coat or whatever. But if you don't put much paint on, you can't sand much paint off. So, I mean, if you look right here, see this right here? It's gray, right? Well, it won't be gray here in a second. I'm going to sand this off till it just starts to be translucent, so I can see. Yeah, see, I already can see the wood underneath it already. So all this dust that's on here now is paint that I would be carrying, or primer I'd be carrying around for no reason. Now the sealer and the dope is twice as hard as the primer. So, and a clear dope finish, if you can use only clear, is the hardest finish. I don't mean hard in effort. I mean hard in hardness. But primer is very soft. So you see all that dust that I've all that is paint that you'd be carrying around for no reason. But you don't want to sand so much off that you defeated your purpose. It's a balancing act, you know, kind of trial and error. You know, you kind of just got to do it and learn what you can get away with. See all that dust? Yep, you got to learn what you can get away with. That ain't quite ready. Let's try the other side. That turned out good. And primer is deceiving. It's flat, so it doesn't really show the mistakes. You know, it doesn't show. It shows the lows, but it doesn't show all the mistakes. I don't know how to explain that. A primed car. If you prime a car, it looks pretty good because it's all flat. You know, flat is in color. But you spray that same car without sanding it, getting it straight, gloss black, and you go, ah, God, what a junker. That's why black is the hardest color, because it's like a mirror. As a matter of fact, black is the base for a mirror. So if you're going to paint, if you're going to use a mirror coat on this, which they do sell, a mirror coat, you'd have to paint it black first, and it would have to be perfect. This painting is just like chroming. I keep telling you guys that a chrome part is that shiny before they dip it. The chrome coating is just a protective coating to protect the metal from oxidizing, rusting, what have you. But that part, that chrome part, is that shiny before it's put in the tank. Of course, we got to have phone calls. Hello. Hello, how can I help you? I'm not interested. They want to buy my house. Everybody wants to buy my house. Yes, it's exactly correct. It reflects the light. Wendy did a chart, a draw up. I don't know where I saw it exactly, about the highs and lows of the paint job. What gives the shine, the reflection. And I'm not going to go through it because it's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll be happy to go through it if you guys don't understand, but I try not to cover other people's material. I'm getting to some of this stuff off my hands here. A mirror is just a way to reflect light, you know, and that's what you're doing when you're sanding all these buggers out. We're trying to get reflection. Well, this stuff is really sticky. I can tell you this. This is Harbor Freight primer. I'm not a big fan of it. It'll work, but I'm not a big fan of it. Bring back my DC 540 straight lacquer primer. This stuff here has some glue in it or something. It's pretty sticky. I got a gallon of straight lacquer primer. I just haven't been out, haven't mixed it up. I haven't been a chemist and did all the funky stuff I'm going to have to do to make it work. Plus, I got to put it in a gun. Having it in a spray can is pretty damn handy. Okay, let's see where we're at. Today's going to be a day, like I say, I'll spend this prepping it, getting it ready for the paint stand. Getting all this primer sanded back off. We just don't want to come out at 70 ounces. I want to be at 60. Can't put much on it. Yeah, I didn't figure that this. Yeah, maybe. Come a long ways quick. I put in the time though. Yesterday was an all-day sand out. I didn't want to be distracted with streaming yesterday. I wanted to make some progress. Okay, I got that. This thing has been a year in the making. I never take this long on an airplane, a year. I can usually do them in a couple of months. But most of that time it would just sit in pieces. And just wait till you see the paint job I got planned for it. Ode to Walt Prey. Except I don't have any metallic purple. Of course, I'm doing it in red. But I do have some pearl, so I can make a pearl red. Now, if you were here, I can't show it on camera because it doesn't come through, but if you were here, you'd see that I'm sanding this primer. It was opaque. I'm sanding this primer down till I can see through it. And the minute I get it even, we'll stop. And then the sealer goes on it. Now I'm sure there's going to be some spots on the wings that I'm going to have to touch up after I shoot the sealer on it. I'm not looking for 20-pointer. I'm looking for 18 or 19. You know, that's what I shoot for. Because 20-point is impossible, no matter what they say. Because I can always find something. But 16? Nah, I don't think so. That's a joke. I will never forget that. Ask Jim Lynch if I'll forget it. Of course you can't. He's gone. Just dry enough. Getting there. Now, if you look at this, let's see, we're on that camera there. Let me switch cameras. You'll see that I just gave it a quick sand there. Let's see if we can show this. If you look right here, you see that dark spot right there? That dark spot is a low. And you got to sand them out. You have to sand those out, all those lows out, before you can start leveling it all out. So the primer fills the lows. So you sand off the highs, if that makes any sense. I'll just do an hour on this one because it's pretty boring, and I'll finish the rest of the day sanding it out, and I'll bring you back when I got it on the paint stand. Too hard to talk for an hour. But last night they were saying how much they enjoyed watching this nonsense, so whatever. I don't know how. If you look right there, you can see that line. That line is where the superfill transitions from the wing to the fuselage. We got to get that leveled out. Put it on, sand it off. Remember, these are your eyes right here. If you can feel it, you can see it. I know what I can do. I can move this camera around to the other side. Okay, let's try that. Okay, zoom in. Knuckle it down. What the hell? We want to go down. There you go. See that line, the dark line right there? That's got to get sanded out of there. Oh, yeah, that's right. I had a spot there. We're going to use a little more aggressive sandpaper. We used the 180. That's, there we go. See that line right there? That's the superfill break from me molding in the canopy. So this is 180. We're going to try to feather that in. You got to be careful not to break the paper. You break the paper, then you're back to square one. You have to start doping. There we go. Got a spot there. Now we're back to 320. Yep, gonna have to buy some more sandpaper. If nothing else, watching me, just imitate what I do. You know, I don't know how to explain it. Copy, copy, copy. This line right there, boy, you can feel that too. That may take some acro. So let's get the 180 out. Maybe a couple more coats of primer instead of acro. Got to clean up the paint station so we can get this on the stand. I'll be bringing I got a load of wood coming. I got to sort out the wood that I got and get it back on the rack. See what's 5 pound and what's not, and the what's not going to get sold. Oh, that didn't sound good. Well, let's see how it looks. I'll get some primer on it, and we'll see if we got them. I doubt we got them all, though. Yeah, it looks pretty good. One more sand out. Go back to work on the other side now. Yeah, now I can't turn it because the camera's in the way. That turned out good. That turned out good. 40 minutes in on the sand first. This is what I'm going to be doing all day, fixing all these buggers, and I'm not going to stay online all day doing this. But at least you know now what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. The wings will not get any primer, period, none. The only thing I'm doing is the nose. I've already finished the tail, the nose, the canopy, and the fillets. That's it. On the wings, we can block this out with no primer. Okay. because it doesn't have any transitions. And you do that with a soft block. However, dope, the primer dries relatively quick. And you can rapidly sand through progressions. You can put it on, sand it off, put it on, sand it off rapidly quick. If you're going to use dope, you're going to have to wait a day between each coat, you know, to sand. That's what makes primer nice. If you could prime the whole thing, I could finish this in a day. Well, pretty close to a day, maybe 2. Prime it all, sand it all, prime it all, sand it all, paint it. Be done. If I was like Bad Chad, I'd load on a half a gallon of primer and sand it off. And then put a gallon of paint on it. It'd be beautiful. But it'd be 80 ounces too, maybe more. So to get a light finish, you got to sand it off. And the sanding is a pain in the ass. This is my 16th airplane to add to the stable. I guess when I get to 20, I'll have to sell for sure. Let me see how much money that's worth. We'll take the average airplane. Let's see, we got 15 times. Man, that's a year's salary. Oh, man. Primer's some nasty stuff. Bad. Shit. There's something in that primer. Other than lacquer. No, I don't get it in a roll. K&S used to sell it by the sheet in a roll. Used to buy a box at a time. I get it from Brodak. It's ridiculously priced, $6.95 for 2. So $3 a sheet. Used to be dime a sheet. See here. See, this is, oh, wrong camera. There we are. This is a foam pad. And I wrap it around the edge so you can get down in the corners. I'll go back to this camera. So I'm getting 2 areas at once. You know, I'm trying to go around that corner. That's not dry enough. It ain't ready. With DC 540, it'd be ready. It's global warming. We gotta kill the primer. Now they want to kill the air conditioner. They don't think our 134A is environmentally friendly enough. Gotta be careful. I'm starting to show the carbon. You can't have the carbon show through. Oh, we're so close. I know it's today. Today is the last sandout day. And you want to get the lightest silk span you can work with. You know, everybody worries about poking a hole in it. Well, don't poke a hole in it. 'Cause you don't have to worry about poking a hole in this. It's solid wood. Let's do this. This side's ready. This side is ready. So I got to do the bottom on this, so bottom's a little easier though, because you don't have the canopy to worry about. And I've already hit those spots with acro. You look, you know, it had a low spot there, right there. We already hit them with acro green, simple green, whatever you want to call it. And all this stuff is a thick primer. Been drying for a day. Oh yeah. You know, I got a, I have a, of course, yeah, I do have 320. I have a DeWalt sander, palm sander. I could go out there, out to the garage and get that. Never tried electric sanders on these before. Of course, if it gets away from you, it'll ruin the airplane. But if it did work, it'd save a lot of time. I might try that later on this afternoon. On the next go around, we got 6 minutes left on this one. On the next go around, I'll go out in the garage to get my DeWalt palm sander and I'll sand the bottom of this and see if it works. I also have a detail sander. I could use that, a multi-tool. Never tried those before on an airplane. We just have to be real careful. Really careful. Yeah, I know what happened on appearance this year. Tried to make an example out of me. But turnabout is fair play. Trust me. Three minutes. Got the lead outs taped. Got the lead outs taped. Don't want to move. You know, jealousy is a bitch. Well, that's going to do it for this this episode. You know what I'm doing today. I'm sanding. When I got something else to report, I'll be back. People suck. Oh yeah. See, I went over that airplane with a fine-tooth comb to make sure there was no mistakes, and the only thing that didn't have was spray shine. I'd hate to see what Ron Burns would have got this year. And that airplane was beautiful. Beautiful. But it was flat. All right. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell for all notifications. That's the bell and choose all. And you'll get notified when I come online and when Charles comes online. And we'll see you after a bit. Hopefully I can get something done. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.